I'm Ryan Broyles. Have the courage to change.
All right. This week on Courage to Change, I have Kayla Anne Harmor. What's up, Kayla?
What up?
How you doing?
Good.
Well, thank you for taking your time and being willing to share your personal story when it comes to addiction and recovery and alcoholism, and how it pertains to you. So, who is Kayla? How did you get into recovery? What's your bottoms look like? All that stuff.
I lost. I have 3 little girls, and I lost my 2 older daughters in 2012. And that's when I walked into TRC detox, and got introduced to a 12-step program. I got my first sponsor, and she, I wasn't ready yet.
So when you say you lost your daughters,
I lost custody.
Lost custody.
Yes,
Okay.
I lost custody of them. Lost my husband. I haven't lost my dog.
Right.
That pain still wasn't enough.
Right.
You know, and that was like the beginning. I hear a lot of women talk about what is the word I'm looking for? The pain didn't come until after I found a 12-step program, you
Right.
know. I got introduced to Stacey Curtis,
Right.
in Mitzi Chapel. Mitzi Chapel was in my first inpatient treatment.
Okay.
And I did not want to listen to her.
Right.
And I was very hard to love.
Right.
Very hard to love.
And she's got a no nonsense
And-
approach.
Yes. And
to
she
recovery.
would follow me to my room. And
Love you, Mitzi.
Yes, we love
Stacey.
you, Mitzi.
Love
and
you.
Stacey. And she would follow me to my room, and she would hold me
Right.
while I cried, and I was just like, why does this woman want to love me so much,
Right.
you know? And I came in very angry and confused,
Right.
and everything was everybody else's fault.
Right.
Nothing was my fault. And she loved me, and I still. Then I got my first sponsor, Stacey Henderson, and she introduced me to Stacey Curtis, and she was the same way with me. Okay, so through TRC, I got my first sponsor, which is Stacey Henderson. She introduced me to Stacey Curtis.
Yeah.
And
Stacey's been on here too.
boy,
Love her.
she told me some things that I did not want to hear, but that I needed to hear. And Stacey Curtis and Stacey Henderson and Mitzi Chapel have saved me in ways that, yeah, makes me want to cry to think about it. But they're pivotal people in my recovery.
Right. So how long were you out there, like running and gunning? What was your poison?
Since I was 14.
Okay.
Everything. I never did heroin.
Right.
A lot of ecstasy, a lot of methamphetamine.
Right.
A lot of. I have daddy issues, you know.
Okay.
So I got some daddy issues, and so I thought that if I met like the perfect man and he loved me, that we were just gonna ride off into the sunset and
Right.
everything was gonna be fine,
Right.
you know. And so there's been a lot of toxic men in my life. There's been a lot of good men in my life that I was also the toxic
Right.
person too. And I've caused harm to people that I would never in a million years do that on purpose.
Right.
Because, you know, like that's just, I've always been told I have a really kind heart. And through the 12-step program, I found people that I didn't understand why they wanted to love me.
Right.
You know, I came from a pretty broken home, and my mother struggles, you know, and I always thought that if I could just be like her,
Right.
that she would love me, you know, and that she would stick around. And when I had babies and I understood because I have 3 other sisters. One passed away recently.
Oh, okay.
And having the same addiction and mental health issues as my mother has helped me understand. I didn't understand why I couldn't be a good mom to my kids, because I always promised I am going to be that soccer mom. I'm even going to drive a soccer van, the best one ever, and we're going to go to hip hop class, and we're going to be cheerleaders, and I'm going to be that all-star mom. And my addiction more than hindered me from that. And I didn't understand it. And the drugs, they made me feel like I could be that mom. They gave me that energy. They gave me the motivation. I didn't understand it until even recently.
Yeah.
I cannot use. I can't drink.
Right.
I can't.
So, talk about so what's the longest time that you've had sober?
I had almost a year. Well, when my first daughter was born, her father told me, listen, it's the drugs or it's us. And I was able to put it down. Although it looked like I had this perfect life. And
I remember last time I saw you, you were really happy. You were really in a good place. You had a good job.
Yeah, I'm scared.
And then I see you. I had no idea that you relapsed, and now I see you now.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the last time a couple years back when you were living off of Britain, and we actually came and got you, and you're on a good path.
Yeah.
And we had a good conversation, and then again. So what I guess what I'm asking is, what do you realize what the red flags are for you, like right before that relapse, or talk about that a little bit? Like walk us through that. What happened for you?
So God gives me my life back very fast.
Right.
Very, very fast. And Stacey Curtis asked me one time, she said, why are you so afraid to succeed? Because I will sabotage it. I sabotage it, and I'm like, well, like my life's getting too good. I'm used to chaos. I'm used to emotional pain. So when my life starts to get too good, I will sabotage that.
Right.
And that's what it is.
It's kind of like we feel like we don't deserve to be happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We look for something to mess it all up.
Mm-hmm.
I do that too, like in sober. I'll add a little chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll get emotionally sick or spiritually sick, and then it's a problem for me. It'll turn into depression though, and then I'll isolate, and then I'll shut people out.
Yeah.
So, what's different for you this time around?
So, my third.
I know this is different because this part right here.
Yeah.
This is something different. Yeah. Well, what else?
So, I had a third daughter, and she is me through and through. And I got her back about a year ago, and I thought that she was going to come home. I had the perfect boyfriend. I had everything was perfect. Everything was perfect. And I thought I was strong, and I got her back, and she came back with her own issues, and we didn't live happily ever after. And it got hard, and I asked God. I said, I need you to help me put myself through whatever pain, no matter what it is, whatever pain, to get done, so that because she's my last little baby, and I said, whatever you need to put me through, I will do it. I will walk through hell for her. And I would hit my knees every day, and something told me, it was like he was speaking to me. I swear. I know that sounds crazy, and I told myself, I didn't bring her home. I didn't bring her home to put her through this.
Right.
And my best friend that hadn't talked to me in 3 months because I hurt her so bad, my mom told on me, and she showed up, and I looked through people and I looked through the people and I was like, oh my God, like I can't believe this is happening. But she was like, get in the van.
Right.
Get in the van. And that's been everything. I've recently got a new sponsor, my sponsor that I was with for 3 years. I love her wholeheartedly. She is the best, and she's made me the woman that I am today.
Right.
And now I have a new sponsor, and I'm just at this point where I'm like, fine, you know, with God, you know, like, it's not always going to be my way.
Right.
I can't always have what I want.
Right.
But I know that if I am hitting my knees every morning and I am listening to my sponsor and I am being the best mom that I can be and I am showing up for these other women, that God's going to take care of the rest.
Right.
And that's just where I'm at. I don't know
That's good.
I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want to know.
Right,
Because
right.
when I try to plan everything, that's when it goes to crap.
Right.
So,
Good.
I'm really thankful. Really, really thankful. And I'm really thankful for my little girls. My older two, I still get to contact them and speak with them. And hopefully God will change that if I do the next right thing. But right now, today, for the next 24 hours, all I can do is be in God's will.
Okay.
You know? So,
Good. Well, I'm glad you're back.
thanks.
And thanks for, once again, thanks for doing this. And so what I want to ask you is, I know it might be hard to look too far into the too far forward into the future, but this is one of the questions I like to ask people is in a perfect world, what does Kayla's life look like in about
Perfect world.
two, maybe 1 or 2 years from now?
1 or 2 years from now. I would like to, so I eventually want to work in a women and children's rehab.
Okay.
So I'd like to go back to school. I'd like to have a relationship with my other 2 children.
Yeah.
I don't know about men right now, you know. Hopefully, like that's in the future.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
that I don't want to cause any harm, and I
Right.
don't want to be harmed. So
Right.
we'll just let God take care of that. If
Right.
that happens in 2 years, whatever. But right now, my job is to be a mom, and my perfect life is to be a mom.
Right. Those are good. Those are good goals.
So
Okay, so my next question is, what's some I nevers for you? Like for me, I nevers means in my active alcoholism and addiction, I never thought that first hit of weed was gonna cause me to be homeless, like 10 years, 15 years later. You know what I mean? Or that was gonna add up to being, cause me to have 4 DUIs. You know what I mean? So that's an I never in active alcoholism. I never thought that I would give my kids away to DHS custody, after that first hit of weed when I was 14, looking down the road. That's an I never for me in active alcoholism. So an I never for me in recovery is I never thought I'd be sitting down with Kayla, having her share a story on a video podcast called Courage to Change. So what's that look like for you? It's like, yeah.
let's see. I never thought that I'd have the courage to stand up for myself and my kids.
Right.
I have to think about that one for a second.
So what are some things that you never thought you'd do while you were sober for any length of time that you were sober? Like get the kids back at all?
Yeah, I never in a million years, like when I first went to court, I thought that we were going for visitation.
Right.
And they gave her back. They were like, here, and I'm like, hold on, hold on a second, I don't know. And then there's these warrior women are like, we got you.
Spiritual gangsters.
Yes, they're like, we got you, and we're gonna we're gonna get through this.
Right.
We did.
That's awesome.
And even though I didn't see it, it got dark there for a little bit. I didn't see it, and I thought nobody loved me. I thought that everybody hated me.
Right.
And they don't. They
that.
just wanted me to get better.
That's good.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would you say to someone out there struggling or in right now may have relapsed and is probably pretty much, you know, walking in your same shoes right now, or someone out there that has a similar story to yours, that's lost their kids, the toxic relationships, and doesn't know, you know, where to turn and needs some a little bit of hope from someone that has went through it.
And I'm thinking, I have a certain person in mind, and I would tell him to come home to pick up that 1,000-pound phone.
Right.
As scary as it is, that nobody wants to judge us. They are wholeheartedly loved, and not to be afraid.
That's what's up.
You know, like
That's
not to be
up.
afraid, because this thing is so much bigger than I ever thought it was.
Right.
And it's just God's way's better.
Yeah.
You know, it's so much better. I want to cry thinking about it, because I thought no one's ever too dirty
Right.
to be saved.
Right.
Ever, no matter how much we hate ourselves.
Right.
You know, and that's what I would want to tell them.
That's what's up. That's good stuff. So I actually forgot to tell you, to ask you this question. Okay, so superhero, or superpower, either one. So if you could be any superhero in the world, what type of superhero would you be and why? You can make it up, or if you want to say superpower, like what would your superpower be and how would you use it?
Do you remember, I don't know if y'all remember this, the cartoon Rainbow Bright?
Yes, I remember that.
And she would like ride around on her glitter rainbow with her glitter horse.
Yeah.
And like just with her little wand, and she would just make the world more beautiful.
Yeah.
That's what I would want.
That's cool. I like that's first Rainbow Bright. Right here, you heard it. Okay, that's cool. Well, thank you once again, Kayla. I hope someone out there enjoyed this interview and could relate and identify with Kayla's story. I guess that's it. Grace and peace until the next time. Brian Wright, Courage to Change. Kayla Anne Harmor, Courage to Change, grace and peace. See you next week. Yeah.
I'm Kayla Harmor, and I am interviewing for Courage to Change. We are out at the Survivor Tree at the Memorial in downtown Oklahoma City, and when I first came into 12-step program, I used to come down here and meditate, and the Survivor Tree was one of the only things that survived through the Oklahoma City bombing, and I just figure if this little tree that it was can survive a bomb that killed a lot of people, that I can survive my addiction and alcoholism. So, yeah.
Each other.